so you could pretty much just scatter around there and apps open up perfectly. This is a working tweak. Apps open up perfectly fine. Haven't noticed any issues with apps opening so far. Overall, it's a pretty cool tweak, and I think it was like $2.99 or $1.99 in Cydia. Definitely worth the price. I really like it a lot, and if you're looking forward to the Apple Watch like I am, this will get you just a little more excited for it, since it does pretty much fully replicate the UI. And for those 6 Plus users who are wondering, the landscape mode actually does work very well. You can see the status bar is kind of off. There's a little extra room for where the dock should be on the right, but for the most part, I mean, it works perfectly fine, and I'm assuming that you can do this in just about any orientation, upside down, either side, or just facing normally straight up forward. Alright, so this next tweak that I want to go over is called Lift. Now this has to be one of my favorite top tweaks for iOS 8, so I'm going to go ahead and actually lock my device. Now this tweak actually takes place on the lock screen, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to bring my device up, and as you can see right here on the bottom, there's a little fingerprint identification, like you'd see with Apple Pay. Now basically what this tweak does is it takes that same little fingerprint identification, even though you can't actually put your finger on the screen, but it's just there when it reads it. This actually completely mimics Apple Pay, and as a matter of fact, when I unlock it, it makes the same sound as when you're making a payment with Apple Pay. Now this works on any iDevice, it's not just the iPhone 6 or iPhone 6 Plus, and it doesn't make any payments in that process. Basically all it does is it makes that cool little tick and animation and the actual Apple Pay sound when you unlock your device, and you have the animated fingerprint scanner right above the home button. As a matter of fact, right in line, same size with the Touch ID sensor as well. And I'll show you that there again. Just put my finger on it. You can see it fills in the finger as it reads it, and then it checks, and it lets you know that it's scanned, and it unlocks your device. It's actually really cool. And if I hop into settings here, and I go down to lock lift, I could change up the settings. You could shut off or on the lock sound, the Apple Pay sound. You can use the tick animation, shine animation. You can make them go faster. You could even change the colors, or you can even have it vibrate or shake fingerprint when it's failed. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this, and more every now and then it's getting updated, and it's adding some really cool features. It's got to be one of my favorites. So the next tweak is Virtual Home. This is probably the one that I'm using most. Basically what Virtual Home does is it uses the Touch ID sensor in your iPhone 5S or later, or newest iPads, iPad Air 2 or iPad Mini 3, and you just simply touch the sensor versus actually pressing it in to navigate your device. So if I double tap it, you can hear it vibrate a little bit, and it'll bring up the switcher, and if I just tap once, it'll bring me back to the home screen. Let's say, for example, I go into settings, tap once, and it takes me right back to the home screen. So this pretty much informs you, first of all, that the Touch ID sensor has full capabilities of being a capacitive home button, whereas